Hello, duelists. Tombox and Kenny here. Or Nishi.
What's up, guys? I think it's been quite a while since I've been on camera. Like, it's been quite a while.
2 months?
Yeah, something like that. I actually just graduated from university. So yeah, let's
give a thumbs up for that at least.
That kind of took a toll on my time, but I'm back and
we're gonna give you one of the most demanded segments of all, set analysis, and what better to do this than with the Dark Illusions.
I just want to preface this first. I'm actually very, very fond of the way that the Dark Illusion set is structured. There's a few new archetypes that are being introduced into the set.
A lot of actually.
Yeah, there's quite a few. And at the same time, there's a few good staple cards. And I really like that they made the higher rarity cards the staples, and they make the archetypes more or less the lower rarity cards.
Actually, that's good because it makes it cheaper to acquire.
Right, like
these cards.
If you want to, like, you can play alternatives technically to staples, but if for example, Abyss Megalo back then, if you wanted to play Mermail, you had to spend $100. Now you can play this archetype with like lower rarity stuff, but
I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
It's actually better for better access to, I guess, across the board from all the players. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, let's get into this stuff. First of all, if we miss any cards, it's because this set is like a complete new set. There's not a lot of old stuff coming in. So if we miss anything, we do apologize for it, and leave it in the comment section down below for us, and we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
And alright, starting off with some hype stuff.
Alright.
Take it off, Kenny.
So first card, let's talk about Pot of Desires. I think this is the card that most people are super, super hyped about. It's
the money card of the set for sure.
Yeah, this is a normal spell card. Banish the top 10 cards of your deck and draw 2 cards.
So it's Pot of Greed.
It's Pot of Greed, but with the you give up like a quarter of your deck.
And they're banished face down, so don't
so you can't like use Cosmo Town to add them back. You can't, you don't have access to it. It's also once per turn, just so you know.
So this is what we would call a skilled Pot of Greed. So if you think about it, if we break it down, it's like, is it broken? Maybe depending on when you activate it. If you it works best with a deck that can actually set up the graveyard first and have a contingency play. So you set up your grave, and then now that you don't mind banishing 10 cards, then it's great. You got +1. But if you top deck this card, it's so bad.
Well, I mean, you also have to consider, you're giving up a lot of things out of your deck
and it's random.
Just to play this card, and you don't get to pick what you're getting rid of. Which, I don't know, it's a good card. It's good. It's
fair. It's fair.
I think it's
a fair card.
I think it's very fair. It goes to show what Yu-Gi-Oh players are willing to give up for a +1 and how much that +1 is actually worth in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, it's a good lesson.
Yeah. Price point. So we're gonna remember that this is very similar to Breakers of Shadows because we have, or not Breakers, Shouting Victories. We have all the supers, 4 ultras per box and 2 secrets per box. So I think this card is actually very, very comparable to Solemn Strike. So
80 on Sneak?
Yeah, around $80, 70 to 80 at Sneak. And then it's gonna kind of go back down a little bit. But I think it's gonna settle ultimately a bit higher than Solemn Strike. Like, not everything's playing Solemn Strike right now, but I think that most things are gonna play Pot of Desires. Not everyone's necessarily gonna play 3, you're gonna be playing maybe 2.
Yeah, it is a very heavy costing one. It's one of those Pot of Greeds you can dead draw or kill yourself playing, so I think that makes sense.
I think it's a 2 of, but I think it's similar trajectory to Solemn Strike. We're gonna see it 70 to 80 at Sneak because it's a hype card. Everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, I pulled Pot of Desires, and everyone's gonna freak out.
It's a pop card.
Yeah.
What about settling down to what?
Probably 40 to 50.
Okay.
I don't want to go too high because we do get 2 secrets per box, which is kind of nice because
that we have noticed that during the Bosch set, everything got really slashed.
Yeah, we haven't really had like those $150 cards, right? Like nothing's hit Dark Destroyer level.
Yeah. That's not gonna happen anytime soon.
Which is whatever. Next type card.
Cosmic Cyclone. We did talk about this in our previous video I made about how the trajectory of how MST kind of designed the game.
Right.
So a Cosmic Cyclone show is I guess it's an MST, but remove the destroy text with banish and then add a 1,000 life cost.
Right.
That's it.
Do you think this is better than MST?
The way that the game is designing spell and trap cards to be more sticky, yes, it is. Because you don't have to deal with 2 effects in one. Right now, MST, you hit the card, say Cosmo Town.
Right.
They get it's actually a -1 for you. If you hit it with a Cosmic Cyclone, they actually don't get it back.
Right.
And you can also hit like those spell monsters. And there's even with some of the stuff in this current set, like Bridges Toma, or not Bridges Toma, the Paleozoics, they don't come back out of the grid.
Right.
So in other words, they're a permanent removal versus like the sticky ones that always somehow float. This one's like anti-float.
Well, the other thing we want to think of now is now that we have pendulum scales. If you MST a pendulum scale, it goes to the extra deck.
Yeah.
But now with Cosmic Cyclone, you're getting rid of that card. So if you banish, like, say, a Luster pendulum that's in the pendulum scale,
that's big.
That's huge. So now, are we going to change our name to Cosmic Cyclone TV?
No, we're not. We're still MST. MST is the standard. We are standard.
Okay, all right. But yeah, definitely a good card.
Price point?
Probably right up there with Pot of Desires, like $60, $70 card.
You think we'll settle down though? You can think of OCG side. Now OCG side didn't really play very much of this card.
Some of them.
Some of them do play it, but then it's not as popular as Pot of Desires.
But I think it's definitely a good card. I'd pick it up if you can. I
would definitely get a playset.
I definitely want a playset. I think it's ultimately, same thing as Desires. I think it's a little bit more player preference than Pot of Desires is, because you have alternatives for Cosmic Cyclone. You don't really have an alternative to Pot of Desires. So I think it's going to settle at around $40.
Okay.
Yeah. Next generic hype card. Let's talk about Coral Dragon.
All right. Is it a real replacement? No.
No. But I do quite like Coral Dragon. So this is a level 6 generic water dragon type.
It's also a tuner.
Yes, it's a tuner. And you can pitch any card from your hand to pop a card on the field.
And when it's destroyed, do you get any?
No, when you synchro with it, then you draw a card.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's...
Seems like all these synchro monsters are gaining effects to draw.
Yeah, but this card definitely helps Mermail the most. I think it gives Mermails an extra, think of how good Mermails would have been if Brionac was not banned when it was.
And even Gungnir wasn't bad.
Gungnir wasn't awful. But this is a 6.
It's generic.
Yeah, it's
generic.
Anything. Yeah. There's nothing really to say about it. It's just a good generic removal card.
It's a tuner too, so
yeah.
Gives access to Zoltskin.
Yeah, it'll give something access to Ultimate Zolkin. But yeah, no.
Price point?
Not too high.
20.
Sneak 25 to 30, and then selling it around 15 to 20.
That's not bad.
That's
I would say if you're gonna collect like an arsenal of synchros where you have options for it, definitely pick one of these up.
Yeah. No. I think maybe like if Yang Zings become a thing with the new support coming out.
They can do a lot of damage with this one for sure.
Yeah. Good card.
Well, aside from some of the secrets, I guess I kind of want to talk about a common card, which is something we rarely talk about in these segments.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Gofu. Blackwing.
Blackwing Gofu.
Why would a Blackwing deserve our attention?
I know, we've been getting Blackwing cards like every set for the past
Blackwings never die.
They're never gonna die, but this card's actually good.
It's a tuner, level 5.
Yeah.
Has a special summoning clause, which allows you to special summon when you control no cards.
Yeah.
Puts out 2 tokens. It itself is a tuner, level 5. And this card is getting a lot of attention thanks to another archetype in this set, which we'll cover in a bit, which will be Metal Foes.
Right. Basically, this card just gives access to Ultimate Zolkin. That's what everyone's abusing it for.
And the thing is, it's a level 5, so you actually have level 3s. And like, say you summon out a Magispector Bambuku, you can go into Ignister, or you gives access to all your Synchro 8s. But remember, the tokens cannot be used for tributes or synchros.
You can pop them with the Metal Flow Spell Traps, or with the Metal Flow Scales, which is not bad.
So they're free.
It's a lot of synergy with the deck, right?
Yeah. I know a lot of other decks that also run this.
So it's probably not going to see like too much play in like the main archetypes like Cosmo or Blue Eyes or anything.
But Metal Flows will definitely, you'll see that for sure. Yeah,
it's going to be something that's played in like a lot of combo-oriented decks, like Plant Synchro or something like that, right?
Yeah. So luckily, guess what? No price point for this. Is a common, so we'll just move.
$30 common. Vanity's Emptiness.
Not happening.
Never again. Please, never again.
So for our next card, it will be an ultra rare card, Trap card. We've already talked about Trap cards as well because we believe they're too slow, but this one has caught our attention.
Yeah. So Floodgate Trap Hole, which interestingly enough isn't a Floodgate, which is fine. But this is kind of like a Quaking Mirror Force Trap Hole. So it's when your opponent summons a monster or monsters, you can flip them all face down into defense mode, and they cannot change their battle positions.
I think this is lovely.
I like this card.
Think about using this with Rafflesia.
Yeah, no, this card's...
I mean, if you hit something that can't be popped, well, you can just book it permanently. Yeah. Cannot be flipped back face up.
Yeah. No, I think the card's very, very conceptually good. I just don't know if it'll see enough play because we don't see very many trap-oriented decks.
Yeah, but if you are running Rafflesia, definitely give this card a go.
Absolutely.
Because flipping someone face down without giving them the opportunity to flip it back face up,
it's annoying.
It's great.
Yeah.
The only thing that it's bad for would only be if they're running another Pendulum deck and you somehow flip down one of their Draco Slayers and they can distribute it off or Dynasty. That's the only bad thing aside from that.
Or if they Book of Taiyu.
Yeah, the Book of Taiyu.
Technically.
And this card also isn't very good against the Subterror stuff.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, so there's that.
There's that.
But we haven't seen Subterrors yet, we don't know.
But we'll talk about that in a bit. Alright, but this card's still very good. What's the price point? I don't see it being very expensive.
No, not too expensive, like a $5 to $10 card. Maybe a bit higher at Sneak, maybe 10 to 15.
I would only pay 5.
Yeah, I would
personally 5.
I wouldn't pay that much for it, but I mean it's a good card.
Hey,
if you guys see it at Sneak Peek, I mean, by all means, pick up a set if you can get them for relatively cheap.
Would you actually play a set of these holes?
No, but like
I guess it's like pretty good. Like, imagine doing that to a tin can.
Sure. Yeah.
If you did that to a tin can, say the E-Telly, they flip face down. No effect gets banished anyway.
Tin can or a Farm Girl, like if they E-Telly off a Farm Girl and you flip the face down, like, oh, my turn's over. Yeah, good stuff.
All right, moving on. Another really decent card. This one I kind of already talked about back then. It's a Shiranui card, Shiranui Sage. Solitaire. I'm so sorry, I used the old name.
Yeah.
Well, of course we know what this card does. It basically just tethers out a free zombie. A zombie tuner with 0 defense. So uni-zombie. And basically what this card allows you to do is very quickly get access to any of your Synchro 8s. And if you're actually good enough, you can basically get double Omega.
There's like a whole deck around this with like Zombie Master and Mizuki.
Don't need Zombie Master, just use this. No. I started playing Shiranuis and then I eventually cut everything down to a point it was just Solitaire. Okay, I get the name now. It's the only one. It's the only one you need.
So you don't play the...
No, I cut everything. Okay. I cut everything down to just use...
How about the Synchros?
I cut basically those two.
Okay.
I'm an Omega
so you just play Omega.
I play Omega dot deck with the Zombie World because I can just revive them and they all keep attack. So it's really ridiculous. Okay. Anyways, this card is a 1-card engine for sure. With the Uni-Zombie works very well. I can see this card being a bit more hyped and a little bit more expensive on Sneak.
A little bit. I mean,
I would still say it's a 10 to 15 on release, and then probably selling down to about 8 to 10. It is a 1-card engine, and we know 1-card engines they get kind of pricey, even if it's not that good.
I actually see it being quite a bit less. I see it being like
5,
10 at Sneak, and like less than 5 settling down. Okay. It's a very, very niche card. If you want to play this zombie kind of deck, I think you're biased because you want to play it.
I kind of want to play it, and I think it has really good potential because it's one of the only decks that can open triple Omega.
It's definitely a lot of potential.
And if you triple Omega someone turn 1, I don't think they can play the game anymore. Yeah. Next turn they have to deal with your OTK.
Yeah, good luck with that. No biggie.
Okay, fair enough. Fair point. I think that's most of the hype cards that we kind of want to cover. I know there's a lot more, but we're going to go into Archetypes now, and Archetypes, maybe we'll cover some of the ones that you kind of want to hear us talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
Starting off with the most popular one.
Metalfoe?
Metaphosis. These, I hate the new name.
Metalfoe, yeah.
Metaphos.
I like Metalfoe.
They're your metal enemies now. This is what I call the deck from Mad Max. You're going down Fury Road because they're all in vehicles and tanks.
Yeah.
What is up with that? But they're the new Pendulum archetype that we are getting. Lucky for all the budget players.
I know. You know, way back when we did set analysis before and we were really happy Plushfire and Monkey Board were common. Well, now Metalfoe is all low rarity. They're all commons, like the highest card is a super, which is kind of insane.
That's their spells. Their spell and trap line are the high rarity cards. Their monster lineup, common all the way through. Luckily,
common and rare, yeah.
They're common and rare. Luckily, I actually thought they were going to be like...
I was expecting...
Rarity bumps.
I thought the fusion spell card would be a secret.
Me too.
I was excited. It would have looked so pretty, but now it's just a super, which is cool.
derpy looking cards.
I'll probably need to pick up foreign ones.
I guess people that are rarity whores, they cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Actually, no, they can play Dark Magicians.
If you want to lose.
But anyways,
no offense, Dark Magician players.
No, the deck is actually really fun.
Yeah,
we might do something with it. Okay, so for their 4 pendulum monsters, we have Steelin, Silver, Gold Driver, and Volflame. They're basically vehicles, right?
Yeah.
But they're all psychics.
They're kind of like Ignite. They're better Ignites.
Yeah. They're what Ignites couldn't be.
Yeah. So instead of like needing another scale to pop with it, you just pop
other cards.
A face-up card you control.
Easy.
Which is not that bad because remember, as we talked about earlier with Gofu, you can pop the tokens, or you can literally any monster. You can summon Dumbuku.
So when you go with the Gofu, you can just pop the 2 tokens that come out, and then you can dig out spells and traps, right? Metal Foe spell traps.
So you're getting Metal Foe Fusion or one of the 2 traps.
So what do these cards do for? All these monster cards, these pendulum cards, they all have the same effect. Pop a card and search, not search, but directly set one of your spell traps onto the field, which is great. Works with Zolkin.
They're all vanillas.
That's the unfortunate part.
But there's one that's a level 6, I believe, that you can search with Summoner's Art.
It's a 7.
Yeah, something like that.
I believe that's Volflame, the tank.
Okay.
And what's really great about this deck is the fusion card is amazing. In fact,
the fusion.
If you actually can hit these cards with Cosmic Cyclone, it'd be great because they all have grave effects.
Mm-hmm.
These are kind of unbelievable. Of course, the fusion, aside from fusing your monster into like another Metaphor monster, you can obviously use the effect in the graveyard to put the fusion back in the deck and draw 1 card. So in other words, you're drawing.
So free.
If you're drawing 1 card per turn, you're getting a Metaphor draw on the same turn. So there's 2 cards per turn, which is great.
It's good stuff.
And the trap cards, they're very useful. Because first of all, it's not really great to destroy them because they have grave effects. Mm-hmm. But the second part is, if they do trigger off their effects, they get more monsters.
Yeah.
And it's just, what is going on?
Yeah, no, it's...
The deck is probably going to be the most consistent deck of...
Easily.
Of all the new archetypes coming out. Like, come on, you have like, 12?
Yeah,
12
the 12
scouts?
scale. Yeah.
Or like 12 Ignister, what do you want to call it? Like 12 lusters?
Yeah.
All of them are searches.
Also, people are experimenting with like a whole bunch of different like engines. I know one that's pretty popular is the Clifford engine.
I'm going to try that one because it can make infinity with it.
Yeah, so you up it to 3 Summoners Art and you play 1 Scout and 1 Monolith. And then you go Scout, search Monolith, use the Metal Foe scale to pop Scout, special summon them both out, and then you make Cyber Dragon Nova.
That's easy.
Which is cute. It's cute.
It's pretty useful because the deck is kind of is a bit lackluster in terms of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, they have great back row, but the back rows are super predictable.
Yeah.
They're protective and summon based.
Yeah.
They don't do anything offensive, so you don't have like the negation abilities.
Right.
So that's something that you might consider playing.
I know Magispector engine is pretty popular with 3 Buku and 3 Kirin.
I will be trying that out along with the Klee engine. It's just like the whole thing is just a really solid engine to play with.
It's good.
So
good stuff.
Luckily, we don't have to do a price point on this because all of this stuff is really cheap. But you guys can take a look at how you want to play. I know some people are going to try Yang Zings with it too.
Yeah, Metal Foe Yang Zing I think is cool. In OCG they do play triple Cyberstein with Naturia Exterio and Last Warrior from Another Planet, which is kind of gross.
Yeah, we don't.
Like if you really think about it. Maybe Cyberstein will get unbanned.
I doubt it.
I
somehow doubt it. Like
I doubt
OCG, TCG ban, like forbidden cards will never be on the same level.
they'll never be on par. But I do have a rare Cyberstein just in case. Because that's the only non-ultra print. Alright guys, so next up we have what's kind of like being hailed as like the new Cosmo. That is our new TCG exclusive archetype.
And yeah, we know that TCG exclusives are usually pretty good.
They're generally good, so we have...
Unless we get like a double UA set.
Please no.
Invest now and then lose all your money.
Well, I mean, UAs were all rares, so it wasn't that much of an investment.
UAs were just...
Yeah.
Okay.
But Subterrors, we have 1 secret rare, 2 ultra rares, and a rare.
Yes.
Which is quite high rarity, actually.
It's the just when you just said like how this set has like easy rarity.
Yeah, this is the one archetype where it's Or no, Dark Magicians too.
But this is one of the exceptions.
But this is I think Konami's planning on it being good, so they're purposely rarely mounting these cards. So I'd probably pick these up while I can.
But just know they are a bit incomplete because come on, there's only 4 cards.
Yeah. So it's like early, like when BA first came out, we only had Dante, Seer, Scarngraph. No one knew how good the deck was going to be. With Cosmo, we only had like Farm Girl, Cosmo Town, Slip Rider, Forerunner.
Yeah, we didn't have very much, and I guess this is no different. This is actually starting off on a not the strongest point, because none of these actually started with their strongest monsters.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, actually, except for BA.
Dante.
Except for BA.
Dante's a pretty strong monster. Man.
BA is the only one that kind of
got
off from the get-go.
Which is cool.
Because like they had to limit those cards. But okay, but then in terms of Cosmo did not get everything. Like,
Cosmo got Dark Destroyer and Tin Can later.
But yeah, if you think about it, what did they kind of start off with? They started off with a deck that we would laugh right now.
If someone tried to play like triple Slip Rider, you'd be like, or not triple Slip Rider, but triple Forerunner, like, what is this? Like,
what a joke.
Whatever, but like, I mean, the deck has to start somewhere, and I mean, by all means, these cards aren't bad. Okay. They're not awful cards. So
let's go into each one.
The secret rare, we have a field spell called the Hidden City. This is when you activate it, it's a Rhoda for any Subterror monster.
Yay!
Once per turn, you can flip a set monster face up.
Yay!
Which is good because the Subterror Behemoths are going to be flip effect monsters, which is cool. And that's going to trigger their flip effects. And once per turn, when your opponent declares an attack, you can negate the attack and flip a set monster face up on your side of the field.
Yay!
Yay! Also good. So 3 good effects, 2 ways to flip your monsters face up, and the Subterror Behemoths, the big ones, they all get effects when they're flipped.
Yep.
So good stuff. So for the monsters, we can think of it like, with Cosmo we had Pilot and then Ship, right? We had Farm Girl and then we had Slip Rider, Forerunner. In this one we have a Warrior and then we have the Behemoths. So the Warrior, first of all, I guess I'll start with, it's level 4, 1800 attack, 1200 defense points.
Nemesis.
Nemesis Warrior. You summon it, you can dump a Subterror monster from your deck to the graveyard, then you tribute monsters on your side of the field whose combined levels equal to or exceed the monster dumped, send them to the graveyard, and then you special summon that monster.
Feels like a grave ritual.
Yeah,
it's like a grave ritual.
It's kind of weird. Like, I don't understand why we're dumping and then...
But then you can do this during other players' turns, so it's kind of...
Yeah, weird. It's cute.
Okay, cool mechanic. Feels a little lackluster at the moment.
Definitely interesting, but the really good effect is when a Subterror monster you control is flip face up, you can special summon Nemesis Warrior for free out of the graveyard.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's really good.
Well, because then you can flip the Subterror, and then that monster will get the flip effect, and then you bring back the Nemesis Warrior, and then you use that effect to dump, and then you get a new guy, and then you tribute them.
With the field spell, it becomes...
Yeah.
You're actually proccing a lot more effects than what we might be giving it credit for.
Yeah. The Nemesis Warrior is only a rare, though, just so you guys know. And then
so expect it to be cheap?
Yeah, hopefully. And then the 2 Behemoths, they're called Stalagmo and Umatrix. So they both have 2 effects that are the flip effect component is different depending on the Behemoth. The other 2 effects are the same. So one is if it's in your hand, you special summon it if a monster is flip face down.
Okay. One of the ones you control.
Yeah. Okay. So if you flip that guy face down, you can special summon it face up from your hand, and it has a once per turn ignition effect that lets you flip it face down. So it's cool stuff. Stalagmo is the level 9, and when it's flipped, it's a destiny draw. Discard a Subterror and draw 2 cards.
It's really good.
Good card. And then
it's a free draw. Okay.
Yeah. And then Umatrix is a level 7, 2000 attack points, 2700 defense points. When it's flipped, you target a card on the field and banish it.
Who's any card?
Monster.
Monster.
Yeah, monster.
Any card. Holy crap. That's great.
Yeah, just a little bit off there. But yeah, I mean, they have good effects.
I can't wait to see more effects, because right now we don't have like a back row popper if the card is like that.
But I mean,
a back row popper that doesn't give response. Holy crap, that's really good. But right now they're a bit lackluster because like Nobleman Across can wreck the deck really badly, especially when you have 2 Behemoths. you hit one, you lose both.
Yeah. But like the thing about these guys is they don't have a quick effect that will flip their monsters face up.
Yeah, they don't.
So whereas Shaddoll's we had Sinister Shadow Games and El Shadow Fusion, this if it gets knocked, they're gone. Like,
well, that's coming to mind. This is one we predict what's gonna happen to this deck. They're eventually gonna get some sort of Big Shield Guard. Now, in fact, Big Shield Guard, if you don't know what this card does, if you target this card while it's face down with a card effect, you flip it face up, negate the effect. Yeah. And if they have a flip effect to go with that, well, then they're gonna trigger that too. Yeah. So in other words, it gives it self-protection, which is really nice, and that's just
I think it's a necessary next step that the deck has to take in order for it to be competitively relevant.
Yeah, and there are really good flip effect supports that came out, I guess, last set.
Yeah. Spirit of the Fall Wind lets you search for flip effect monster.
Yeah, it's Stratos. It's a pretty decent stat line for the Stratos, like 17?
Yeah, something like that. Also, Prediction Princess Taro Chair. It was like a secret in Dragons of Legend 2, but it also just got a reprint in OTS 2.
I guess it makes sense now?
Yeah. At first, when it was like announced the reprint, everyone was like, what the hell is this? Like, why is this getting reprinted? And then, I guess now it makes sense. It's a level 9, but you can bring back flip effect monsters and just special summon them face down, which is really good. And then, once per turn during either player's end phase, you can either flip a monster face up or flip it face down.
Book a moon, book a tile, and one monster.
So you have extra flip procs and
they're high level too, these flip monsters.
Yeah, they're
behemoth.
Umastrix is like level 7 and Stalagmo is level 8 or 9 or something.
Well, I guess that kind of fits the condition for the tribute fodder of the Prediction Princess.
Yeah. Well, I actually picked up a set of a Burst for Birth as well.
Right.
Case, right? Because you pay 2,000 life and special summon face down. Not a bad card. I ordered all of the Hobby League Noblemen of Crossouts off Trollicoat. Sorry, guys. But yeah, no, as far as prices go, Hidden City, I'd expect to be around 15, anywhere from 15 to 25. And then Stalagmo and Umatrix, like 15 to 20, maybe 10 to 15, just because they're ultras.
Okay.
But like, yeah, as we said before, like if the deck does well right off the bat, expect the prices to go up. Yeah. But also, even if it doesn't do well, expect the price to steadily climb up as we approach Invasion of Venom, which comes out like in November. Because when we get the next TCG exclusive Subterror support, everyone's gonna be like anticipating that the deck's gonna be really, really good. People are gonna try and pick it up at the last minute, and it's gonna slowly climb in price.
Yeah, but then if they somehow just immediately get results, think about what happened to Farm Girl overnight. From being
300%.
Yeah, from being like what, a $20-$25 card, all of a sudden it's $70.
I picked one up for $15 at Sneak Peek just in case.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, that was cool.
You just won the stock market, just like if you're invested in Nintendo. Yeah. 100% increase.
Team Mystic.
Alrighty, so for you 007 fans, I guess Konami decided to make a Super Spy archetype, the Spiral.
Whoa.
So we get, I guess 007, the super agent, we have Quick Fix, and we have his sexy ass car, and he apparently has a drone.
Okay. I want a drone. I don't mind a drone.
Okay, so
cool.
What does that mean for this archetype? So I feel like this is the UA, the ultra athletes of the set, and to be honest, I'm a bit lackluster.
Yeah,
the effects. So it's very interesting play mechanic. I like how they're experimenting with the look at your opponent's deck overall. I mean, so basically, the effects dig into your opponent's deck, and what else do they do? That's the central mechanic.
You declare what type of card you think your opponent has at the top of the deck, like a monster, spell, or trap. And then, if you guess correctly, you do something, but you don't get that effect if you don't. And then they have other cards that are like, you can move the top cards of your opponent's deck around.
Oh,
yeah, so
okay.
it's
stacking.
Stacking, yay!
Stack your opponent's deck, brick the crap out of it. What if it
doesn't? Give Oscar the Gem Knight Lazuli and the Dark Witch. No, you can't give it to him, it'll already be in his opening hand.
Well, okay. So yeah, this archetype, okay, one ultra rare, which is the super agent.
Yes.
Rare for the quick fix and
then low rarity stuff.
So it's made up of SPYRAL super agent and SPYRAL gear.
Yeah.
So Quick Fakes is the Q. If you don't know who's Q in like the 007 movies, he's the guy that gives you the tech gadgets.
Yeah.
And yes, when he has the effect to actually dig out one of those gears for you.
And they also have a premature burial. No cost, but the monster that you bring back cannot be destroyed by battle.
Which is pretty neat.
Cute.
And I believe that the super agent has the ability to protect itself by getting rid of the gear.
Yeah.
Kind of like one of those dramatic escapes where he sacrifices his equipment to save his own ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not impressed by it.
Not impressed? No. Super Agent Price, what do you think he's going to be? He's the only ultra rare.
Okay.
If you really want to play the deck, who knows what kind of support they will get.
I mean, they
could get really broken.
Konami's going to like blow our minds and make Spirals the really good archetype and Subterror suck.
Subterror is actually subpar.
I'd be so upset because I'm going to pick up all the Subterrors. I think they're cool.
Okay. So
I'd be really mad.
I don't think it's going to be very expensive. Maybe $5 even on sneak, and then probably settle around $2.
That being said,
but if they become super good, expect that $2 card to suddenly become $40 because no one cared about it, and guess who has it? The guy that just had to pick up and just took a gamble.
I'm probably gonna hoard a bunch of them just in case.
And you can probably pick it up. I don't think it's worth very much.
I don't think
Okay, next one we're gonna talk about is the Korean OCG import, the Paleozoic. The Burgess Toma.
They're cool.
Sadly, here's the thing. They're missing one very important Xyz monster. Mm-hmm. It's the one that lets you play the ones in your hand.
Yeah.
For free. And the one that searches it out and plays it for free. Mm-hmm. So the defensive one is not here.
Yeah.
I really don't know all their names. They're very pretty names, but we do get the one. Okay, so the Xyz monsters, they cannot be affected by monster effects. So they got that going for them. So you can't just administer it away. It's not gonna happen. You can't Dark Destroy, pop it. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
They have that going for them, and all the trap monsters, they have decent effects.
They're good.
They're good. But they need to summon it out of the graveyard. You need another trap to activate before they can actually trigger.
Yeah.
Sadly, they don't have all the monsters, and I believe there was a build in OCG that uses rescue rabbits, which is like frog.
They're level 2 waters.
Aquas.
Okay, so
Frog the Jam somehow became
they also
$8 per Frog the Jam.
Frog the Jam, the cheapest ones online are like $20.
Oh my god!
I told someone at locals that I bought them for $30 and they believe.
But they're very Frog the Jam, the card that every frog deck hates.
Well, I mean, because you can rescue rabbit into double Frog the Jam, or you can unexpected die it.
Yeah. Okay, so there's that. If you want to pick up cheap Frog the Jam, pick up Armored Cap or Psychic Kappa.
Psychic Kappa, yeah, it's basically the same. 1,000 defense. There you go. Frog the Jam can't beat over Psychic Kappa.
Doesn't matter.
No.
You guys know what's going on.
Yeah.
So this archetype is the trap-based one, and all the trap monsters that do summon out, they are not considered trap cards. Mm-hmm. So they're actual monster cards, kind of like Prime Monarch.
The difference, just so you guys know, the difference is OCG, they have Tree Toad.
Oh yeah, we
know. The Evil Swarm Logia, or not
the Frog Logia.
Evil Zor Logia as a frog, which is like pretty busted.
We don't have that, so we're missing a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I don't see this deck being very strong right now for TCG.
No. I think they're also pretty low already. They're like commons and like common traps and then like a super Xyz, which is whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, cool stuff.
That's enough for Paleozoics. If you want to play the deck, by all means, I think it's gonna be pretty decent sneak. If you're going to play the sneak draft, why not?
Oh god, I don't want to play sneak now.
Alright, one other new archetype is Triamids. I did not read up on them.
I didn't read too much about them.
But they have an interesting mechanic though. That's one thing we should know.
They have field spells, right?
Recycle.
Yeah, they rotate through field spells, which is kind of cool. It's different.
I find it kind of gimmicky because you only have one field zone, so that field spell effect better be really busted because literally you only have one zone. Yeah. It's just your limitation on just the mechanic itself, and the play field could become a hindrance.
Yeah, like
and not just that. What if someone plays like Field Barrier?
No.
Like you have some of the easiest counters to your deck.
Yeah.
Close forest, field barrier.
Well, I mean,
can't play anything.
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't think.
No, if they do become a big thing, it's like I don't let you play your field spell. It's like basically locking them out with like an anti-spell fragments.
If they become a thing, but I mean, the monsters and the field spells, they aren't good enough. They're just like they're not straight up. They're not good enough to keep up with the meta. They're not good enough.
Well, I expect the meta will shift. Very, very soon. So,
but here's hoping that Crystal Beasts are meta.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't gotten the Crystal Beast.
Pendulum skills? I am so upset.
Yeah, it's very
I'm waiting on that.
But that's for a video for another day.
That is for another time.
Okay, so time for the retro revamp. Dark Magicians. All right, Yugi, we've gotten pretty much your entire deck revamped already.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it's not on par with Blue Eyes.
Yeah, Blue Eyes is meta. Dark Magicians kind of. It's just because your trap card Eternal Soul just has such a strong weakness of blowing up Raigeki, basically turning an MST into a Raigeki. So that's the only flaw. However, it does come with 2 secrets in the set. We have the Dark Magician Circle, and we also have Magician Navigation. Those are going to be cut. Circle is going to be a bit pricey because it does act as a bit of a pot of duality on play, and every single Dark Magician you summon will target and banish a card on your opponent's side of the field, which is very nutty.
I mean, the deck itself is not awful.
No.
The deck can do things. I
just don't like one of the main trap cards, Eternal Soul. This is not part of this set. This was already released.
Yeah.
It's the one where your Dark Magician is unaffected by everything, and you can search a card with Dark Magician to your hand, or you can special summon a Dark Magician. Basically, that's it. And that card works very well with obviously with the Dark Magician deck. However, it does have that weakness of, you MST, you move it off the field and it blows up your entire board. Everything, not just Dark Magicians. That kind of sucks, but then with the Dark Magician Circle, you basically have more advantage the moment you drop the Dark Magician. And Dark Magician's Navigation, I read up on the card, it actually has a really neat effect which makes it so that Dark Magicians in your hand aren't dead. The moment you summon out one Dark Magician, you get to summon out another one out of your deck. And then it has graveyard effects where if you banish it while you control a Dark Magician, you can actually negate one card on the field.
Okay.
So it's pretty decent. These are the secrets though. The Magician Circle and the Navigation.
They do have plays. Like, it's not like the deck...
They're very scary.
If the deck works.
You can get Harvey's Feather Duster by Dark Magic Attack. Dark Magic Attacks are really expensive right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dark Magic Attack is cool.
Yeah, it is.
That's an old Ultra. Like, it is Ancient Sanctuary old.
Yeah, that's right.
Something like that.
But it's like, well, they don't have to worry about your back row.
Yeah,
Kill your scales. Everything's
cool.
good.
It's not too bad.
Well, these cards are, of course, going to be a bit pricey because... Secret, of course.
Well, there's that, and like there are gonna be those players who just like want Dark Magician cards.
So it's also a collector's item as well.
Dark Magician's second most iconic monster in the game after Blue Eyes. Pretty much.
Okay,
right?
sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Blue Eyes will be meta, so that's gonna be a different story. All right, so I'm gonna guess they are about 15 to 20 each.
Yeah, around there. I'd say that's fair.
And then I don't think they're gonna drop too low because they're collectors.
10 to 15.
10 to 15.
Decent. Could be worse.
There you go. Of course, they have other supports like the Robe, the Rod, and of course the Illusion. And of course, they have a boss monster. Almost forgot the boss monster. Ebon High Magician. Yeah. Basically, it is what's that guy's face? That's Vanguard. Makura.
Makura the Destructor.
Yeah, but except it's not permanent. Like once per turn, you can activate a spell or trap during your opponent's turn from your hand. It's a quick play. It has a quick play.
Quick play, yeah.
Yeah, quick play or a trap from your hand. Yeah, that's really good.
It's cute.
It's cute. But like unlike the Blue Eyes monster, which actually has some sort of crazy effect of tagging into any dragon,
just doesn't do it.
Yeah, I actually prefer playing as an Illusion Magician instead because that one gives me banishing effect and summoning up. But overall, you play both in the deck, so
yeah, of course.
It's up to you. That pretty much covers up all the archetypes that we want to cover. We have a lot of support stuff, but let's kind of cover the remaining secrets of the set.
Sure.
Okay, so for one of the remaining secrets, it's the cover card itself. I guess what's his name? Nirvana High Paladin. This card is the first Synchro Pendulum card. Very long effect on both the Pendulum scale and the monster effect. So for the monster effect, you can actually Synchro Summon this card. It's a level 10. And, well, you have to use a Synchro monster plus a tuner.
Yeah.
But the tuner can be replaced with any Pendulum monster.
So it's a little bit easier.
It's a little bit easier. However, there is like other issues with it because there are other effects with it. So if you Pendulum summon this using a Pendulum monster tuner, oh my god, it's a mouthful. You can target one card in your graveyard and you add it back to your hand. So it has old school D-Mock. Old school D-Mock, Dark Magician of Chaos, except that doesn't add spells, it adds any card. So, well, there you go. The best card to retrieve any card. But that's not only that, whenever this card battles and destroys a monster, half your opponent's life.
Which is, it's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny. Oh, I didn't have an OTK? Sure I did.
Yeah.
Just count your life in halves.
Yeah, cool.
It has 3,300 attack points.
Beats over Blue Eyes.
Yeah, kills Blue Eyes. Oh, by the way, you have attack over your Blue Eyes. Oh, you're at 8k, now you're at, well, first of all, you take the 300 damage.
77 and then 3850.
3850. You're getting
Fun.
OTK.
Fun times.
And when this card is destroyed by card effect or by battle, it goes onto your Pendulum scale. The scale number is 8, high scale, really nice high scale. And when it Pendulum effects, I think the Pendulum effect is a little more overwhelming, better than the monster effect.
Yeah.
When one of your Pendulum monsters battles, it cannot be destroyed by battle and you take no damage from it. But the monster that battled lowers all their opponent's attack points across the board. So it can set up an OTK. Say you just attack with one performable monster that was boosted by sorcerer, say 28. You attack with it. Okay?
Yeah.
Doesn't die by battle. Your opponent loses 20 across the board, which could just be a full field of zeros.
Azura Priest.
Well, overall, this is a very interesting card being the first of its kind.
Yeah,
it's secret, and it's cover card. It's collectible for sure right now as being the first one. Anytime a card is the first of its kind, usually gets some sort of like reputation. It has a bit of a price jump. And if you are running, what's it called? If you are running, say, what is it? Odd Eyes Fusion, you can use this as a Pendulum monster to dump it as well, so you don't have to use Odd Eyes, what's his face dragon?
Pendulum?
Not the Pendulum.
Vortex?
Not Vortex.
Rebellion.
You need Vortex. Rebellion.
There we go. I got there eventually.
So you don't have to use Odd Eyes Rebellion, you can use this card instead.
Yeah.
And it's a synchro, so it gives more decks access to this, really.
It's cool. I mean, I don't think you're going to see it go off very often, but when it does, it's going to be hilarious.
Some anime level.
Yeah, this is anime type stuff here, guys.
But it's a very good card overall. The effects are really strong. Of course, it's a bit hard to bring out.
Yeah, of course.
What do you got?
Last secret rare in the set is called the Forceful Checkpoint. This is a secret rare trap. I think in the OCG it was only a rare, so it did get the rarity bump. And it's a trap card, so it's probably too slow. But I think the card is conceptually really, really good. And I'd like to see it have a place in the meta someday. So when your opponent declares an attack, you can activate it. Look at your opponent's hand and discard a monster from there.
Sure.
If this was GOAT format, the card would be insane. I really like it. But
it can take out combo pieces, it can take out max Cs.
Yeah.
Like if you're really worried about your opponent having like a max C on your turn, like afraid of like a random Veiler, this card can take out the hand trap, which is very nice. Sometimes like they can't kill you, so like I'd rather prepare. It's more like I will prep for next turn so you lose your counter.
I think it's like I like the card. It's not going to see play because it's too slow.
It's too slow for now.
Yeah, but I mean,
it could be a good sideboard card if under the right circumstances. Price
price now it's going to be cheap. It's going to be like a $10 secret rare.
And Nirvana?
Nirvana? Cover card, 15 20.
Okay.
Yeah, not too bad.
We should do a shadow game on pulling cards.
Oh no. It's okay, we can always beat Oscar. Unless you pull strike. Oh, he got the strike, so I mean, there's that.
Alright,
also, I'm not eating wasabi again.
And I don't have to dress it as a penguin. Okay, time for the final mentions of the deck. I am sorry if I missed out any of your cards, but these are the decks that are getting a quick support, but they are probably not very meta relevant. So starting with Performables, you get a stack of new access, but the one
because Performance Pals need more cards.
It's main character cards, so he's obviously getting more support. But the one card that did stand out out of the rest is Radish Horse. Yeah. Reduce your opponent's monster's attack by one of yours.
Honest going to 3.
Sure. Okay. Blackwings is getting that Synchro monster, the level 5. We're getting quite a bit of Synchros, but the one card that I care about the most is Sohaya. That's the level 5 that is attuned that can special summon itself back out of the graveyard and banish, whatever. It just has a lot of conditions with itself. This is the card that actually can go into Quasar, which gives us the deck Blackwing Quasar. Very interesting stuff. Look it up if you really want to look deeper into this. What else we got? Dynamis gets 1 card. I did not look up into it. Red cards gets a bunch of red stuff. Sure.
Red Dragon Archfiend, guys.
And last but not least, let's not forget about DDDs.
Oh yeah, hey, good thing you guys are getting a structure. Wait.
Not the structure.
Wait.
They get they get Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison, basically. Yeah, no structure deck still. Not for.
Sorry guys.
Till next year.
We got the Felgrand deck before the DDD structure deck.
So that kind of wraps it up. If we missed anything, of course, leave it down in the comment section below again. If you guys like this video and like seeing Nishi back with us,
what's up, guys?
Give us a thumbs up. And what else is there? If you want to see more stuff,
make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. And if you guys are also excited for the Dark Illusion sneak peek, make sure you guys leave a comment down below. Tell us what you guys are excited about, what you guys want to pull, and maybe after what you guys did pull.
Yeah, and if we trash Dark Magician a bit too much, of course you can prove us wrong.
Okay, not as bad as Arrow Mages.
Okay, Arrow Mages.
And look at where Arrow Mages went, guys.
As always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV.
I start the camera at the
That was recording. Damn it.
Oh my god, stop jumping around.
You're really bad at this.
No, I'm just trying to.
Thomas, you can't use your iPad.